Aristotle, a comprehensive overview. This detailed overview expands upon the provided information about the life, work, and enduring legacy of Aristotle, one of history's most influential thinkers. Personal information. Full name: Aristotle, rho de sigmata omicron tel lambda eta, Aristoteles. A birth: 384 BCE in Stagira, Chalcidice, a small town on the northern coast of Greece. A death: 322 BCE, age 61 to 62, in Chalcis, Euboea, from natural causes. A nationality: Greek. Family background. A father, Nicomachus, who was the personal physician to King Amyntas III of Macedon, the grandfather of Alexander the Great. This connection to the Macedonian court significantly influenced Aristotle's life. Nicomachus died when Aristotle was a child. A mother, Festus, who also died when he was young. She was from Chalcis and her family owned property there. A guardian. After his parents' death, Aristotle was raised by his guardian, Proxenus of Atarneus. Wife and children. Aristotle married Pythias, the niece and adopted daughter of Hermias, the ruler of Assos. They had a daughter, whom they also named Pythias. After his wife's death, Aristotle formed a relationship with Herpyllis of Stagira, and they had a son named Nicomachus after Aristotle's father. Education and career. A Plato's Academy. At the age of 17 or 18, around 367 BCE, Aristotle moved to Athens and joined Plato's Academy, the premier institution of learning in Greece. He remained a student and colleague of Plato at the Academy for 2 decades, until Plato's death in 347 BCE. Founding the Lyceum. In 335 BCE, Aristotle returned to Athens and founded his own school, the Lyceum, in a rented gymnasium. Because he had a habit of walking around the school's colonnade, peripatos, while lecturing, his school and followers became known as the Peripatetics. The Lyceum was a major center for research and teaching, boasting a large library. Many of Aristotle's surviving works are thought to be lecture notes for his students. Growth and inspirations. A mentorship under Plato. Aristotle was deeply influenced by Plato's teachings but famously became one of his most prominent critics. While Plato's philosophy focused on the abstract world of forms, Aristotle was more empirically minded, grounding his philosophy in observation of the natural world. This critical departure was a key driver of his own philosophical development. A travel and research. After Plato's death, Aristotle left Athens. He traveled to Assos in Asia Minor and later to the nearby island of Lesbos. During this period, he conducted extensive pioneering research, particularly in marine biology and zoology, observing and documenting the local fauna in great detail. These travels broadened his empirical knowledge and heavily influenced his scientific works. Theories and contributions. Aristotle's intellectual range was vast, and he made foundational contributions to nearly every field of knowledge. A logic. He is credited as the founder of formal logic. His 6 works on logic, collectively known as the Organon, introduced the syllogism, a form of deductive reasoning that dominated Western logic for over 2,000 years. Ethics. In his Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle introduced virtue ethics. He argued that the ultimate goal of human life is to achieve eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or the good life. This state is reached not through pleasure alone, but by living a life of virtue and exercising reason. Politics. In his work Politics, he analyzed different forms of government and constitutions, advocating for a mixed government. He famously stated that man is by nature a political animal. Metaphysics. This field gets its name from his work Metaphysics, which he called First Philosophy. It explores the nature of being qua being, the study of existence itself. He introduced key concepts such as substance, form and matter, hylomorphism, and potentiality and actuality. He also argued for an unmoved mover, an ultimate cause of all motion and change in the universe. Natural sciences. Aristotle was the first person to study biology systematically. His works, such as History of Animals and Parts of Animals, contain meticulous observations from his dissections and studies of over 500 animal species. He created a classification system for animals, a precursor to modern taxonomy, and made pioneering contributions to embryology, botany, and anatomy. His empirical methods laid the groundwork for the scientific method. Rhetoric and poetics. He analyzed the art of persuasion, breaking it down into 3 appeals: ethos, character; pathos, emotion; and logos, logic. His poetics offers a foundational analysis of literary theory, particularly tragedy. Quotes and their implications. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Meaning. This quote underscores the importance of self-awareness as the foundational step toward true understanding and personal growth. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Meaning. This reflects the philosophical position that the pursuit of knowledge reveals the vastness of human ignorance, encouraging humility and a commitment to continuous learning. Social and professional life. A tutor to Alexander the Great, in 343 BCE, at the request of King Philip II of Macedon, Aristotle became the tutor to the 13-year-old prince Alexander. For several years at Mysa, he taught Alexander subjects including politics, ethics, rhetoric, and science, shaping the mind of the future conqueror. Alexander later supported the Lyceum with funding and sent back biological specimens from his campaigns. Colleagues and successors. Aristotle worked closely with other philosophers and researchers. His most famous colleague and chosen successor at the Lyceum was Theophrastus, who continued Aristotle's work and became known as the father of botany. Aristotle left his extensive library and writings to Theophrastus upon his death. Influence on psychology. A foundational concepts. Aristotle's treatise De Anima on the Soul is considered a landmark text in the history of psychology. He He explored topics such as sensation, perception, memory, and thought. A cognitive and developmental ideas. He theorized about how humans acquire knowledge through experience and reason, influencing theories of learning and cognitive development. His view of the soul as the form of a living body, inseparable from its functions, provided a framework for understanding the mind-body connection that predates modern psychology. Conclusion: Aristotle's legacy is immense. He was a true polymath whose systematic approach to philosophy and science radically transformed almost every area of knowledge. His works were preserved and studied extensively, profoundly shaping medieval Islamic and Christian scholastic thought, most notably through the work of Thomas Aquinas. From the invention of formal logic to his foundational work in biology, and his enduring theories in ethics and politics, Aristotle's ideas have remained a cornerstone of Western intellectual history for over 2 millennia and continue to be a subject of contemporary discussion. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.